My name is Ginger Zimmerman, and I am a speaker for the American Heart Association. In 1993, I suffered from a virus that was quite serious. It mimicked symptoms of meningitis, and so I was hospitalized. Of course, it ran its course, like most viruses, and I was eventually sent home, and we thought that was it. Within a year afterwards, I started having symptoms, strange symptoms. So I went off to the doctor and told them that I thought I had something wrong with my heart. And I actually described it to the doctor that I thought my heart had stopped while I was sleeping. And I would wake up gasping for air and have to get up and walk around. That was the answer. They came back and he told me, I can't even believe that you're sitting here alive. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, your heart is functioning at less than 15%. And he said, your only chance to live is a heart transplant. And he said, I'm not sure if you'll even make it. Choosing the right words to tell a 13-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 4-year-old what's happening was very, very difficult, very difficult. And then finally, like I said, 3.5 months after being in there, we finally got a phone call. My doctor received a phone call that there was a possible match. My husband had actually just gone back offshore 2 days before. It was really cutting it close. We knew he was on his way, but we didn't know exactly where he was at or how far he was from the hospital. And actually, as I was about to be wheeled in, off the floor, down the hallway to the elevator going to surgery, he actually came bursting in and had this amazing tell. Here everyone's focused on me, and he comes in and he says, "I'm lucky to be alive." He said, "It's a miracle. I'm lucky to be here." And of course, everyone was like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "I was in a really bad helicopter accident." It was weird because I remember just lying there and looking up at the light, and they began strapping me down, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, this could be it. This could be the last thing that I see, ever. Everyone had gone home, not knowing for sure if I would be transferred to a room. Well, I wake up at 8 o'clock, and I actually woke up to something telling me that I needed to call home. So I finally got a hold of the operator, and the call went through, and David answered it. But as soon as he answered and I could hear him speaking with the operator, I knew something was wrong by his voice. So I told my husband to hang up and press a number on our speed dial. That was my niece, who was actually an RN at the hospital right down the street. And my niece came in and found him in this condition. I was on the phone. She made a quick assessment and got on the phone with me and said, I have to take him now. It's bad. She said his pupils are dilated and his tongue is over to one side. She goes, I've got to take, I don't even have time for an ambulance. I'm going now. And she said, tell him bye, Ginger. And so she put the phone up to him again, and I was able to tell him that I love him. And that was the last time that I ever spoke to him again. As it turned out, he had suffered an injury from that impact. It was an impact tear to a small artery in his brain. Where the tear was inoperable. So even if they had discovered it immediately when he got to the hospital, if they performed tests, they would have determined that it was inoperable and that he was going to die anyway. Since I've been speaking for the American Heart Association, I've had the privilege to speak all over the country and to meet many, many wonderful people. And and to really be able to touch them, which is very therapeutic for me. As I said before, you know, this is something that day to day you make healthy choices, and for me especially, because you know, because I'm at a higher risk for heart disease, I do have to stay on top of it, and you know, make every day count. And so being able to share with other women and listen to their stories, and that actually motivates me even more. They can relate to it. I could have been your daughter, I could be your sister, you know, I could be your mother. And it's probably even every couple's worst nightmare, because you think you're both very healthy, and you just sort of take it for granted, like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I've got the rest of my life, I'm gonna be fine. And you just don't know that. You don't know that. So you have to make every day count. You have to take care of what you have, take care of your health, take care of your body. You need to be very consistent, and you need to be your own advocate. You need to be in charge of your health. The American Heart Association, they have been such an incredible support system for me. Research is vital, and for me, my hope is in the research. It's directly responsible to my longevity, because the medicines that I was taking almost 11 years ago were much harsher, and it was thought at that time that I needed that much. And what they've learned is I don't need that much, and of course that has actually prolonged my life by saving my other organs. One thing that I realized while I was lying in the hospital was that your health is so precious. I mean, if you have your health, you can do anything. You can have all the other troubles in the world, but if you have your health, you have everything. You really do. With your health, and if your heart if you have a healthy heart, you can go anywhere, you can try anything, you can do anything. For me, there's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't remember that I have someone else's heart inside me. And that was such a precious gift. It's probably the ultimate gift. And you know, I owe that, not only to myself, but I owe that to my donor, to take the best care of this heart that I can.